Hey guys, welcome back to the Capture the Moment podcast here with me and Lamar. There's been a lot of stuff that there's a few things I want to talk about, and then anything that comes up in conversation that dawns on us, whatever. But so one of the things is, and I'd love your thoughts on this, is the Marvel Tokon stuff. So after we've played, then I'm seeing these videos pop up of Justin and Max. Now, Max even looked like he knew more than Justin. There's this thing where apparently when you do a handshake tag or you change your main character, the character that was in, you can do something. They make it sound like, and I saw like Diaphone doing this in tournament, was that like
Yeah.
there's a way to like buffer your assist so that your character that is leaving still gets to do a move like
Oh yeah,
that's,
I think
yeah,
I
and
think I
and I'm
saw
like,
that.
wait, what? Like, so basically you can cover yourself, and it's like using an assist, but there's no cost to it. There's no meter that's being used. It doesn't
Right.
drain any kind of resources. And they were saying like how broken that shit is. Like, and I'm like, damn, like that's fucking crazy. So there's a good chance that this game is gonna change a lot very quickly into like the kind of game it is, where the developers are saying stuff like, oh yeah, we're trying to leave it open ended, like if people want to play it as just one character and 3 assists, that's fine. But it looks like the game really can be oppressive if you play it the right way. If you can use this mechanic, and every time that basically you switch characters, the character that is leaving gets to do a move of some sort that you either manually are inputting. So it's not an assist. It's like it literally is like any special move or normal that you want your character to do, you can have them do like as they're leaving, essentially. Like right before they leave, you can have Wolverine do some slash, or you can have Magneto throw a car across the screen, or you
Yeah.
can have Storm throw out a tornado. Did you see any of that footage of Max?
No, I didn't see any of Max footage. I saw the Diaphone footage though.
Okay.
What he was doing. Yeah, and it looked pretty sick. It's just about like getting the timing right for it, and just some lab time. But what I did see was some that Hawk gameplay.
Mm,
They finally
okay.
showed it. They had like
Yeah, they showed that one, and I saw the trailer, and I was busy, and then I saw like the first third of it, and I didn't have time to finish watching it. So, what's your thoughts on that?
it looked pretty sick. He got some shit that's kind of like Marvel, not really like the Gamma Crush and shit, but like the Gamma Smash where he can go diagonal. But except
Yeah.
this one look like he just goes forward and he can go like diagonal up, almost like a DP.
Hmm.
He got some pretty good moves, but still just gotta see what he's like in
Well,
action.
the breakdown. So I had seen this channel, and I can't remember who it was, but this guy, and he was saying that some stuff had leaked, some footage or some screenshots or something, and it had something to do with like Deadpool. It was basically all the characters that haven't been released yet: Loki, Deadpool, Hulk. I think that's it. Maybe one more. Anyway, and so he
Yeah,
was going through like the names of the moves and how they sounded, and the description of the characters and their moves and everything. And so yeah, it sounds like Hulk has a rage meter. He can't air
yeah, I
dash.
noticed that. Yeah.
His character can't air dash, so
Hmm.
that's a mobility issue. But that like what they weren't clear on from the screenshots is if this rage meter affects damage or if it affects armor. Like if it
Right.
when he's at full rage, does he get more armor to be able to go through shit, or does his shit just hurt more? And then yeah, Deadpool has like a huge move list, like lots of moves, from because his character is supposed to, be fourth wall, looking at like different game strategy guides, and so he's supposed to have all these. So he does have like the Guilty Gear burst. So like
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna work. Like he's gonna be the only character that can burst in the game. Like that's pretty broken. Loki with all the feints and shit. Like he's got multi-tiered feints where like he can put it up basically a trap or a portal. If you swing at him, he'll counter, or he can fake that and then like basically appear behind the opponent and start a combo. Like so he can like I guess one if you tap the button or one if you hold the button or maybe it's an input or something, but that sounded pretty dope.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm really excited. Again, I don't know how high level I'm gonna play the game, but I'm definitely this is gonna be the new hotness as far as like watching tournaments. Like I'm gonna be loving the hell out of watching high level matches of this game.
Oh yeah. Personally, I mean, I definitely want to like play it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to, expert, but I want to just be competent at the
Yeah.
game. You know what I'm saying? Just have a little fun with it. And yeah, man, it's a beautiful game, man. And yeah, I definitely want to play it. I'm not gonna be able to get it day one. I
Yeah.
might probably like next month I might grab it. But yeah, man, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. You already got your team? You gonna add Hulk to the team or
Yeah, well, Carnage is. Oh, and Carnage is supposed to have some kind of DOT shit that like it does damage even while you're blocking. That shit sounds sick, dude. So
oh, man,
I'm pretty
okay.
sure I'm gonna have Carnage on my team. I'm thinking like Carnage, maybe Magneto. From footage I've seen, maybe like Wolverine, Deadpool, something. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But I really want to have Carnage on my team.
Yeah, when are they gonna release the like the player background or player report for those characters? We
But
got
dude,
Hulk.
there's only like 2 left, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm
Carnage
sure
and
in the
Loki.
next couple weeks.
But the game come out what? What's today? The game
What,
come out
5th
what, Friday? The game come out on the 6th,
or
right?
4th, 5th?
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Yeah,
yeah,
the
I mean,
game
but,
comes out on the 6th. So the game
yeah,
come out Friday.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
probably the next 2 days they'll put one out.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, dude, they started rushing them real fast before the beta. They put almost all the characters lists out, so that people could kind of get a little bit better of an idea of how to play these characters. And
Yeah,
plus,
yeah.
the instant change lets you kind of extend your combos a lot more. And I got to just mess around with that.
Right. Like, real quick, I just wanted to ask you. I think you mentioned this game before. This Zenless Zone Zero.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing that, right?
I do a little. I mean, not like hardcore or anything. I was playing it a lot, at first. So I had hit a wall in Wuthering Waves, and I kind of was like, man, I can't really, there's nothing else to do without spending money, like other than maybe trying to kind of farm resources a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with some of these games is like, you play, and if you're free to play, you'll hit a wall where like, okay, well, there's nothing really else to do. So I decided to get that game and try it out. And it was similar in some ways, a lot different in others. And I was like, oh, but then in a lot of ways, it is very similar in that it's very gotcha, free to play gotcha kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh man, not again. Like, should I play this? Should I even bother? You get like basically like 5 or 6 free characters just from playing the story, but they're all lower level, and they all do this in these games where like, you'll start off the game and you'll have characters that are like B tier or A tier, and then very quickly in the story you'll be exposed to characters that are S tier, but you can't get them, and you can only get them by pulling for currency, and
Oh,
every
okay.
80 pulls guarantees that you'll get it, and but then this currency, who knows how many you get realistically. Like, you might be able to get a couple a week if you're lucky. So it's like,
Mm,
it's either going to take you forever to get the character, or you have to spend money, and that's where they know people are going to be impatient, and people are going to, well, darn, like, this character looks really sick. So, and that if you get that character, that's going to help you make it through the game easier because you have a stronger character. If you're
right.
using a B level character, even if you max them all the way out, the potential isn't as high, like, for damage, and their skills aren't usually as OP, whatever. So,
Mm.
yeah. So, why are you asking?
No, because I actually was in the middle of downloading it. It's on Game Pass because I saw a couple of videos, and I
Uh-huh.
was liking the way the combat looked.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of piqued my interest.
Mm-hmm.
But now this it's a gotcha game. I mean, we'll see. I'll just hit a few buttons, see if I like it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the gotcha. Again, all these things. It's there to tempt you. It's like, you don't have to. You can play the game, the majority of it, without dropping money, without whatever. But it's very grind heavy. You eventually, in all these games, get to a point where you've got weekly stuff or daily stuff to do, that because you get resources, and then whatever. And so if you want to strengthen your characters, like abilities, or strengthen their gear, you need whatever items, but you can only get them from doing this dungeon once a week, or whatever. And so it's a lot of that kind of stuff. Again, I think the graphics are amazing. It's a really fun game. I wish some of these games leaned a little less into the gacha side. Like, I understand they need to make money. If it's going to be free to play, then it's like,
yeah.
that's their way to do it. But at the same time, it's like, man, at least let me get one random S tier character, like, instead of like, okay, well, I probably won't get any unless I spend some money, and you see these, and then what they do is they make you play. This is the tricky part. This is the part where they really get you. They'll have you do a part in the game where you're playing as these super strong characters,
Oh, that's dirty.
and then you see their abilities, and you're like, oh shit, they're doing all this shit. Oh, but you can't get them. You can't access them. So
Yeah.
and then it's basically giving you. It's like the drug dealer gives you that first taste, and then you're like, ah, shit, I need me some of that. Like, it's
Hell
exactly
no.
what it is. Like,
That's
it's
crazy.
exactly what it is.
That's
And
crazy.
and then the actual attempting to get it is nothing but gambling. It's like, oh, putting your money. You might as well be at a craps table, or blackjack or something, trying your luck, seeing if and basically imagine if a craps table said, or roulette wheel, they said, man, for every 10 spins, if you don't win, you'll win on your 10th try, or whatever. So it's like, but you're never going to come out ahead that way. You just, it makes the loss a little bit more acceptable. You're like, well, I got what I wanted. Maybe I spent more than I really intended. I spent $50, but I got the character. So now I have them permanently and whatever. But then there's other things in the game. Like, okay, well, now you got the character, but, and keep in mind, in these gacha games, one character, if you want to fully unlock their capability, you usually need 5 to 6 copies of the character. You get, because then if you get them again, then you can level up. They'll have like a substat that, like, oh, you get a second one that allows you to upgrade whatever, and sometimes you can buy them from a currency in the store, but that either costs money or you have to really grind to unlock, like, oh, crit rate plus 30% on this move. And then another, if you get another copy of that character, then it unlocks, reduce, cooldown time on all skills by 20%. So you're making them an even better character. And that's the thing. If you really want to commit, then you're, into it for like, oh, damn, I might spend 150 to make this character a beast. And yeah, I mean, dude, that's how all this shit is. It's like, and the tricky part is, if you're in the hole, and again, I go back to the gambling analogy. If you're on the slot machines and you've already spent 40, and you're like, man, I need to hit really big to make that 40 back. But then you spend another 40 and now you're down 80. It's like an endless cycle. The majority of gambling doesn't pay off. If you're really good at certain cards, maybe poker, blackjack, yeah, maybe you can come out ahead from time to time. But you're never going to come out ahead in this. It's just how far are you willing to dig a hole? Are you willing to commit 300?
It like that, dude. I don't even know if I want to play this shit now.
I mean, look, at least play it a little bit, because I'd like your thoughts on it. I'd like to hear your thoughts after playing, like, through maybe the first chapter in the story or something, and see what you think. But
because, like I said, I know it has like slice of life type shit, as well as the combat aspect of it. Then it's like a little puzzle, or like, I guess, a hacker type puzzle mini game or something.
They always love these mini games in these, and there's always events. There's events and events and events, and like, they're on timetables. You have 18 days to do this event, and then there's mini games in this. And what I find hilarious is the mini games that are in these games are pretty solid. And I'm like, damn, like the one, which one was it? Was it Zenless Zone? Or was it? I think it was Zenless Zone that had, it had like a tank. What was that game? Tank ball, or what was that game called that I was playing for a little bit with the, it's like the overhead puzzle kind of game.
Ball pit.
Yeah. And it was literally that. And I was like, wait, what the hell? Like, and then you get like power-ups, and you're shooting multiple ones, and you can fuse, and I was like, this is Ball Pit. This is exactly Ball Pit. I was like, what the hell? And then I was playing another game, and it was like, there was another game that it was like exactly the same kind of mini game, and I was like, dude, it's so funny that, because Wuthering Waves and Zenless are like, two of the foremost of this kind of gacha anime game. There's one more, there's a couple more, I forget what they're called, but there's some other ones, like, what is it, Genless, or Genshin Impact?
Genshin Impact, yeah.
There's that one that's a popular one, and then there's another one that I think is made by the same company that makes Wuthering Waves.
Now that one, I hear good things. Wuthering Waves. I hear good things about that one. But that's the one you're playing now too, right?
Yeah.
Which one do you like better, that or Zenless Zone?
Again, they're similar, but in some ways they're so different. Like, I like the fact that in Wuthering Waves, you can get, you can like move pretty freely in the environment. You can jump, you can climb walls. There's shit that makes you think like, oh, maybe I'm not even supposed to be over here. Like, and you get to the top, and you get to the top of a mountain. Almost a little like Final Fantasy XI. Final Fantasy XI, you didn't have anywhere near the freedom of movement, but it was a huge map, and there would be places that you could find, you're like, oh shit, what does this do, or what is this area, and then it may play a part in some story mode or whatever. But
Okay.
so it's a little bit more like exploration style RPG for Wuthering Waves. Zenless, like, you can't jump in the game. Like, you're grounded permanently.
Oh.
You cannot jump. So, like, but you have, like, in fighting, you have, like, you can do this, like, kind of parry, reflect parry thing that you have to time, and, like, you hit the right trigger right as the enemy's about to hit you, and you'll, like, clash and parry, and that's kind of a cool, fun mechanic. So it makes you feel very active in the fights and whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just, again, if I were you, I would look up videos for both games of, like, people, YouTubers, giving their reasons, maybe, like, why they would recommend it and why they would, tell someone not to play the game. And hear, like, people's top 10 of, like, why they would recommend it or why they would tell people not to play it, kind of a thing. Because, I mean, honestly, dip your feet into both. If you have the time, play them and see what you think.
I know they're like time sinks, like.
Oh, yeah, of course.
The only thing, like, I just wanted to, check it out because of the combat. It looked kind of interesting, but I'll give it a try. To be honest, I don't intend to, put that much time into it. I just want to jump in it, hit a few buttons, see if I can, Is it the type of game where you can have, like, combo expression? Can you do that in it? Like, if you unlock so many moves, air juggles.
I mean, yeah, you can do that kind of stuff, but it's not, you don't have tons of, it's not like Devil May Cry where, like, oh shit, I made up this sick combo. Like,
okay.
It's kind of it's really basically, like, boss fight, like, memorization where, like, okay, they have a few moves and that, like, okay, this is an AoE, let me dodge this. There's kind of a parry dodge mechanic in Wuthering Waves, that you can either do, like, a counterattack after, and there's a leveling system, there's a collecting these, like, basically they look like ghosts or spirits when you kill enemies that are left behind, and you collect those, and then that strengthens your, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, there's really a lot of stuff. So again, if it's a game where you don't mind a slow, because I got into it and I was behind when I got into it, and I got into it like a year and a half or after it had been out, I think. And so there were already, like, tons of characters in the game that I had missed, and that I was like, damn, well, I'm coming in and the game has 18 characters, and I have like 5 of them or 6 of them or something, and I'm like, man, I want some of those other characters. And eventually you're gonna get, you're either gonna get some free ones, you're gonna get luck out on with your current free currency, you might get a couple good ones, but again, it's just, you do what you can and play, and then, if you find that it's too hard, you either level up more, grind more resources, maybe get lucky and acquire a new hero that's got some really strong abilities. Look online, see what heroes people recommend, because, like, at the later point in the game, oh my god, I mean, there's a couple of characters that came later on that are just beasts, like this white-haired samurai girl, that's like ice on her blades and shit, so everything's like ice themed with her. And then there's a ghost girl, and she's ridiculous. She's got, like, pink hair, and Ameth, and, like, so that's the thing. I mean, like, I'll put it this way: the story is, you don't have to go through all the story. I skip a lot of cutscenes because they're so long. The art style is amazing. Like the
Okay.
art style and the animation and everything is so sick. Um, there have been moments where this game can make you like. It made me feel something. Like I was pretty much crying during one story beat of the game. I almost everything else it didn't really hit me that way, but it was, you know, some things are revealed and you're like, damn. And it was
Hmm.
like I was like, wow, like this game actually got me to that point. Like, holy shit.
Oh,
And I
that's
mean,
crazy.
it was to the point of like YouTubers were reacting and like 20, 30 people were just like breaking down from these cutscenes and from the story unveiling itself and like finding out like some of these things. And I was like, damn, like that's pretty, you know, where like if a story beat in a game is getting like viral reactions online, like that's a pretty epic
That's good.
thing, you know.
That's good writing. Yeah, good
And I
storytelling.
haven't seen anything like that with Zenless, you know. Like they have
Hmm.
some cool, their art style's a little different, still really good, really, you know, really good art style. But yeah, I mean, again, they're both fun in their own way. They both have limits to that fun in their own way.
Yeah.
So you know, and it's just, again, like if you're the type of person that, oh man, this shit is so tedious, having to get on here every day and do these things to get my 100, you know, whatever of whatever currency they give you a day. Like Wuthering Waves has asteroids, and if you do the daily quests and whatever, you can get like I think 60 a day or 80 a day. Well, like to do a pull for a character, it might be, let's say, 1,200 or 1,600 asteroids.
Hmm.
So that's one pull, which counts as 10. Like if you do a 10 pull, it's 1,600. So if you do 80, which is 8 of those for 8 times 1,600, you're talking like, you know, you would need 10,000 or, you know, 12,000 or whatever. But if you do, you're guaranteed a level, you know, like a high and S tier character.
Oh, okay.
But where
Okay.
they get you is they say you're guaranteed an S tier character, but you're not necessarily guaranteed the one that you want. They'll put up a thing. They'll say rate up. And because I've dealt with this with mobile games when I was playing what was it, Seven Nights and Seven Nights 2, and I've dealt with this in so many games where they'll have a character, it'll say rate up, and so you pull and you pull and you get to the guaranteed, you finally get the hero, and it's a different hero than the one with the rate up. So you spend all that money and it gives you some other, you know, piece of shit character. You're like, dude,
That's
really?
crazy.
Like I spent $10, $15 on some currency, did all these pulls, and I didn't even get the one I wanted, you know?
That's crazy. Yeah.
But shit like that can happen, man.
Yeah. We'll
Um,
see, man.
I wanted to talk to you real quick on some of the actually, you know what? I'm gonna cut it here, and then I'm gonna call you back because I'm on my way. I gotta head to my chiropractor's, and then I thought maybe about 10 more minutes. I just wanted some of your thoughts on like some of the AI stuff I've sent you, and you know, like different Mortal Kombat stuff, or some of the, you know, some of those videos like Street Fighter related stuff, like the, you know, Ken versus Vega, like some of those ones that I sent you. I was like, damn, some of it looked amazing to me, you
Yeah.
know? And
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like it had sound effects from the game, and it, you know, like some of this shit was dope as
It's
hell.
getting better and better. I think I sent you one. They had like Bruce Willis, damn, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone. It was like a mashup,
Oh
and they
yeah,
all were going
yeah,
against the Stranger Things enemies. Yeah,
yeah.
but it's
All
like,
right, let me call you back
oh,
in a
okay,
minute, and then we'll finish up, and then if you don't mind.
yeah, for sure. All
All
right.
right, all right, bye. All right. So, yeah, so, you know, to the AI stuff, man, like, okay, so I saw that, and I think I sent it to you, but it was Michael Myers
versus Wesker.
Yeah, that was
And
pretty good.
I thought it was good, but it wasn't as good to me as the Jason one. And that's where I'm just like, I mean, the guy posted it, and I was like, man, this is really sick, but in my opinion, not maybe quite up to as good as I thought the Jason one was. There were some times where Wesker would say something and it didn't match his mouth at all. Those kind of take me out of it. I'd almost rather them not be saying a whole lot if you're going to have issues with the mouth being totally like, I mean, even if like you had to do a scene where it's a zoom in on his eyes and you don't see his mouth and that's when he's saying something, if you didn't want to have it sync up, but to have his mouth moving and like you can just tell it's not even close to what he's saying, I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, some of them looking sick as hell. I saw some AI, what was I can't remember if I shared it with you or sent it to you. Did you see the one? It was the two figures. It was Zangief and Guile.
I don't know if I saw that one.
It's two action figures, and like Zangief SPDs them, and then you see like the lost face on Guile, like where he's looking like he's all beat up in the photo after he loses, and then he like you see him kind of like mad, and then he throws a sonic boom at Zangief like from behind or whatever.
I didn't see that one.
It was done in a way that like, I mean, it looked like something out of what was that show, Robot Chicken?
Oh, okay.
It looked like it was something out of that, where it's like, I mean, you can tell it's action figures, but they did some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, it doesn't necessarily always have to look real, as long as it stays consistent with what you're trying to have it look like,
Right.
And I thought, like, I keep seeing these Facebook things. I sent you a couple different softwares of, like, it shows this girl, and it's, like, anime style, and it's very reminiscent to me of, like, a Wuthering Waves or a Zenless Zone Zero or whatever, where, like, a character will have a sick-ass intro, pull out a sword, camera rotates around, they'll slice something in half, like, I was like, damn, that looks sick. Like,
yeah, I was wondering what that was.
If you can do stuff like that with that software, and they say, you get so many credits free, and then you have to buy credits, or you can sign up for, monthly or yearly, and again, I don't really want to get into the credits thing, because when I want to be creative, I don't want to be hindered and you can only do this or you can only do this much. They need to be thinking about, okay, well, if we come out with whatever, like, let them do as much as they want. Like, I'd rather pay a little bit more if I have to pay like $40 a month and have truly unlimited,
Right.
But yeah, not like, well, for $40 you get 6,000 credits, and for for $50 you get 8,000 credits. Like,
yeah. Well, yeah, man. But no, the ones you sent on Facebook, like the Sector versus Cyrax and Smoke, that's pretty sick.
Yeah. Short,
but short but sick. Yeah.
Look good.
Yeah, the Michael Jackson, like, his age, that was pretty sick. And then the King of Fighters, I think that was Rugal. I don't forget who that kid was. I know he's like in King of Fighters. I forget his name.
It's either like Shinji or something like that. I forget what his name is. Shiro, maybe? I don't know. It's something like that.
But yeah, it's pretty sick, though. Yeah, it's pretty sick.
I thought, the choreography was cool. The fact that they used some of their moves. Like, the thing is that, like, it's not just, okay, like, they're these characters that look like these characters and they're fighting. The next level that goes beyond that, is basically, and I'm thinking DBZ, this level goes beyond that, like whatever. But like,
right.
I mean, seriously, the next level is to be able to have them perform the moves that they have in game. Where like when I see Johnny Cage fighting someone, I want him to do his shadow rush kick or the balls punch or throw one of his, fireballs or something. I've been, I'll see the Liu Kang ones and he'll do maybe a fireball, but I keep hoping that he'll do his kind of full screen, like, rush kick in the midair kick or the bicycle kick one from 2. Like I keep hoping they're gonna have them do one of those. So it's like they're really good with being able to do generic martial arts with these characters. But I feel like that next step is them actually being able to do some of their moves like exactly from the game. And that's why I thought like the Wesker versus Jason was so good, because like his movement was so Wesker. That kind of shifting around, dodging shit. You see the eyes lighting up. I will say, as one slight negative, and I'm not going to hold it against this. I realize when you're making this long of content, but like there would be scenes where his glasses would be broken, and then the next scene they're perfectly, back to normal.
Oh, okay, okay.
Little inconsistencies across the board, but for the most part, still really good. And so that's like kind of the next level. I thought that Vega versus Ken, like it had the whole ridiculous first part. I don't know if it's just so that you kill time, so they don't have to, but like Vega getting on a rocket, going up super high, crashing in through the building. Like I was like, what's the point of all that? Like I don't.
Hold on, did you send me that one?
I think so. If not, I might have shared it or posted it on my timeline. But
yeah, I don't think I saw that one. You know what? If you could find it, send it again if you get a chance.
All right. Yeah, because it's like, and then, but the fight, when it gets to, then it changes, because all that time it's playing Vega's Spain music. Then when he starts to then it goes to Ken, and he's in his Street Fighter 6 costume. He's on the dock by the boat, and he's like doing punches and doing kicks. And then Vega comes down on the stupid ass missile for no reason, and then they start fighting. And like, then the fight though is pretty good, and they're using like sound effects from Street Fighter, even when they get hit, like, and like different stuff like that. So yeah, I'll try to find it. I could have sworn I sent you. Now, have you been looking on, because I've sent you some on text and some on Messenger, and then some I've just shared on Facebook.
No, I just the ones pretty much the ones I saw were on Facebook. So I'll check I'll check YouTube to see if it's anything that I missed.
Well, check Messenger. Check the Facebook Messenger to see if I sent you anything. Otherwise, again, I'll try to find those last few. And I think a couple of them, like I was looking and I found them like really early in the morning one day, and I was like, it's too early to send it. I'll send it later. So maybe I didn't. Maybe I, then I forgot, moved on.
Hold up, I'm going back because I forgot about the Tekken when you sent me the Jin Kazama versus Eddie.
Yeah,
that looked pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like that's another one where it's like there's no moves that are like, oh, this is official. Like I was kind of waiting to see Jin do like the kicks and then the spinning kick with the uppercut, kind of like Kazuya and Hayachi both have. And he did. I think he did something with some like glowing fists near the end where he punched a couple times. But Eddie was fine. Eddie, like his movement and like all that was great. But I was just, that's the only thing that would take it to that next level, in my opinion, is like if you can say like, hey, make sure to include these moves, and I'm sure with a game like Tekken, that gets even harder because they have such ridiculous move lists. If you tell an AI, oh, have it do a, double knuckle thunder punch, or, it's like, what?
Right.
And that's the thing. I guarantee you, it'll get to a point where, like, you could take a small video clip of that character doing that move, because I could already do that. I mean, I was using AI where if I had Ryu doing an uppercut, I could basically make any character do that. Like, I could have Cyclops, and then it would look like Cyclops doing an uppercut, or it would look like Dan doing an uppercut. So, like, that already has existed. Basically, it just maps the skin to make it look like that's that character in, what was I using? I think it was Kling AI or something.
Mm-hmm.
And, so, I mean, that was back then. That was last year, or a couple of years ago. So,
yeah. Which one you using now?
I'm not really using any, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of biding my time, waiting till they get to a point where, like, I want to be able to have them be amazing on a cell phone, and I want to be able to work on stuff on my phone while I'm at work, in between, if I have downtime or at night in bed. I don't want to have to get on a computer and do all the stuff and move files from my phone to the computer or vice versa. Like, so.
I get it.
Me and the missus been, me and my girl have been doing the door dashing on our bikes, and that's been interesting.
I saw a couple of videos.
Yeah, so, man, I'm trying to, just have it be kind of a realistic look at, our efforts, and trying to do it, if we can make 20 or 30 in an evening, doing a few dashes, whatever, 4 or 5, and kind of letting that try to motivate us to get out and get a little bit more exercise. And because it's like we already like going out riding, but then it's even more of a, motivation if we're getting paid to do it,
Right.
But there's also a lot of little things, and making sure that we have, like, we haven't been doing any pizzas or anything, because you have to have a pizza bag, which we do, but not really an efficient way to maybe carry it. So I decided what I would do is I would get the even bigger bag that can hold a pizza, and then that way we'll both be on our bikes and have 2 bags. We'll each have a bag, and then that way if we get, because the other day we got 2 big orders, and we almost didn't have room to fit it. Like, it was close, and we were like, oh shit, what if we got more than this, and it was a good deal. I mean, it was 2 orders for like $20, but like, we start in Clawson, pick up at the Mexican place, what's it called? Mojave Cantina. So then from there, then we had to go to Woodward and pick up from Qdoba, and then head over to Beverly Hills, and then somewhere else over there, kind of near Beverly Hills. But, so again, it took a while. It took an hour of riding, but,
exercise, you made a few dollars.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. I mean, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Yeah. And and do it now while the weather is good, because.
Oh yeah, because then by fall, that's a different story,
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, what are your thoughts on anything else on the gaming scene? What are your thoughts on what's it called, EWC?
Oh, you know what?
Did you see the Street Fighter 6?
Yeah, I saw some of it. I wasn't able to watch all of it. I was kind of busy. I don't even know who won it. Who won the whole thing?
Crimey.
Who?
Crimey.
Crimey.
He's like a 17-year-old kid or 16-year-old kid or something.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Beat everyone, beat men up,
Yeah.
Punk got taken out. There was the drama about the setups and the lag, and people are saying they're.
I don't understand. The monitors was lagging.
Yeah, and I don't understand why this is still an issue with the technology level we're at. Why they, aren't doing fresh swaps to make sure that they're not overheating. If you gotta like have a couple in the back, have a refrigerator or a freezer, that keeps them cool, and then you do a rotating, okay, after 2 hours, pull another one out and swap them or something. Make sure you're using whatever monitors are agreed to be the best setup. Because again, I mean, it's like you look to any profession and say, well, how would that work if they have bad equipment? NASCAR 500, NASCAR or Indy 500 or something. And it's like, oh, then you've got a flat wheel, flat tire.
Right.
Oh, well, it's like, how's that fair? Or, if you're playing football and the ball's, deflated, or if you're, there's so many issues. You play hockey and the ice isn't right and they're, slipping everywhere, or, whatever. I don't know.
Right.
But it just, to me, it's like with the amount of money and the amount of focus that's getting on esports, you would think all this would be fixed by now.
Right. Because if I was Punk, I would have been pissed, man. You fucked up my opportunity, you know what I'm saying? And because of a technicality that could have been avoided.
Well, the problem is, too, is that, with shit like that, it's a trickle effect, too, because it's not just, okay, would he have won the tournament, or would he have placed better? That'd be more money. But, he just had a bunch of sponsorship deals going on before EVO, because at the time, he was the reigning EVO winner from the previous year.
Yeah.
So it's like, even it affects sponsorships, it affects, it affects a lot of money for these players. And, there's travel time, there's those costs, there's the time, the effort, whatever. So to me, yeah, it sucks, man. They got to really figure out a way to do it that's 100% best set up. So, and I don't understand, why do people keep talking about the second player side is that makes no sense to me. How the fuck would the PlayStation have issues that the second player gets lag and not the first?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
This hasn't happened, from what they were saying. I guess this has happened in the past, because...
Oh, yeah. There's been, issues with setups and whatever, but that's why I'm saying, it has been an issue in the past. So why the fuck have they not figured it out by now?
Yeah. One thing, though, kind of on topic with Street Fighter 6, though, okay, the game just got a new patch, right? And they released a new character, Yasmin. And it's so funny, maybe it's because I'm an old school gamer and stuff, and it's just, I get so tired of the whining and the crying whenever there's a new patch update. Dog, it just makes me not even want to listen to it, because for one, I'm casual. None of this shit affects me. I'm the type of player where if you wouldn't have told me it was a balanced patch, I would have never known. You know what I'm saying? I would have continued playing in the way that I normally play the game, because that type of shit ain't really important to me. But I get on, button check. Of course you got to cover it. A few other guys cover it. And it just never fails. Every time they do a new balance patch, it's the same whiny motherfuckers, man. And it's like, come on. Back in the day, you just had to deal with it. The game was released and it was dropped. And that was it. Get good or get run over. That was just how it was. Now people whine and cry, then they adjust. Then they whine and cry some more. Then they adjust. They still whine and cry. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you'll never be satisfied. I think Max did a video where he was reacting to a video where a guy was talking about a game. It wasn't a fighting game, but they basically lied and said that they had patched the game, but they really didn't do shit. And the next day, they was getting complaints like, why did you adjust this? Why did you change this? But in actuality, they hadn't done shit. It was like a social experiment, you know, just to see how people basically just complain about nothing, you know, when it comes to it, you know. So my thought, I just wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on that? Well, how do you feel about this whiny culture when it comes to updates and fighting games?
All right, so this may be a little longer-winded than you thought, but so here's the thing. Back in the day, we didn't really know about it, but like when you look at ROM sets, if you go to play games in like MAME and different like things like the CPS boards from Capcom, you know, there were like sometimes 8 or 10 different versions of some of those games, and those they did have play differences. You know, like the most famous ones are like some of the X-Men vs. Street Fighter versions. And now on the Street Fighter, on the Versus Collection, they even allow you to play some of the different versions. And they'll say like, okay, this one you can only play ranked, but then this one, because we feel is a little more unbalanced, or, you know, so infinite heavy, this one you can only play casual with other players, but you can still play it online. So, you know, that was back in the day. That was back like, you know, 90s, 2000s. So that was going on then. It wasn't really, it kind of felt like after, you know, stuff like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, CVS, you know, the Street Fighter 3 series, that like when a game came out, it was out. Like that was it. And there's, you know, because it wasn't really until some of these later iterations, like, so basically like the 360 and the PlayStation 3, that era started this idea of like, oh, we can put out a patch and change the game, change the rules of the game, add features, remove features, change things in the menu, add characters. You know, we can do whatever we want, right? So then you get stuff like, you know, certain games came out, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And not a lot of people realize it, but Marvel 3, well, I mean, a lot of people do, but, you know, it doesn't get talked about. Marvel 3, the way it launched, there was the base game, vanilla, then Ultimate Marvel 3. Even Ultimate Marvel 3 got a couple of balance changes before Capcom said, okay, we're done. We're not doing anything more to the game. However it is, that's how it is. And of course, it was after that then everybody found the tag infinites, you know, with every character from the tag and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And you know, they're not going to do anything about it. And, oh, Morgan's super broken and Phoenix is super broken. And they kind of were just like, yeah, this is in the game.
Right.
You can use it, you can abuse it, you can, you know, do whatever, but we're not going to do anything about it. It wasn't really until like the pro circuits for stuff like Capcom Cup, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and 6, where like patches really started to affect, you know, like, oh, we're going to do a season patch and a season of DLC and affect, you know, characters you've been used to playing one way, how their moves work, their recovery, their priority, and we're going to change them. And, you know, to me, it's kind of, you know, dude, we talked about this, and we talked about this last time we talked, and that's when I wasn't recording, remember? And I said, all they need to do is have an option where you have the base game that plays that way, then you have a pro player version. That is the version that you would tweak, and you would do like season changes and, you know, balance adjustments. But for the rest of the game, you know, and you could choose on the menu. Are you playing, you know, casual or professional? And
that would make sense. You know,
that's all it would take.
Yeah.
But
Nothing but an update.
because they want to include everything, because we're in the all-inclusive society now, where nobody can be left out of anything without,
Right.
you know, a political scandal and you know, whatever. That it's like you're trying to include. So basically, you know, you're including all these casual players in the professional balance adjustments that you're doing based on the performance of these characters in high-level tournaments. You know, what characters are winning EWC and Capcom Cup and whatever, plus regular player feedback and stuff. And that's the thing, like, that doesn't really mean anything to the casual players. So why wouldn't you have a separate game mode for them where, you know, like, none of these patches affect. They would have Street Fighter 6 day one, let's say, or maybe you'd get, like, you know, every 5 years they'd do a very slight tweak. You know, again, the kind of tweaks that are like preventing crashes or glitches or stuff like that, but not like minute character, you know, oh, this was 3 frames and now it's 4 frames and this and this and this. And like, to me, as a pro player, I know I'd be pissed. Be like, dude, I worked so hard at this matchup. I knew everything. And now they've changed something that I could get totally thrown under the bus if I don't prepare for, you know?
Right, I see what you're saying.
So now you have to prepare for like 30 characters. Obviously, they're going to prepare for the ones they think are the biggest risks, you know, like Ryu or Bison or whatever. They want to nail that matchup knowledge. You know, maybe have a friend that's a really good Ryu player or someone that's a really good to be able to like lab with and train with and learn all the matchup stuff.
I see how them guys play, dude. They like Punk, and I think a few others. They know the whole roster. Like they'll get every character to master rank. Like when Yasmin just dropped, Punk did a video, you know, just taking her to master rank, and he does this with every character, you know. So it's like that's how you get that. That's one way to get character knowledge as far as using them. But then,
that's
you
true.
know, you know. So,
but like I'm always surprised that like he won't stick with that character. Like when Sagat first came out and he was winning tournaments with, and then he kind of went away from Sagat and back to like Cammy, and I was like, why? Like Sagat was a beast, you know, and seemed to be, you know, whatever. But Cammy, well, she seems good. I just feel like her damage is a bit low. So like she needs a lot of resets and a lot of mix-ups and a lot of, you know, where like Sagat, like, man, like 2 big combos and that's about a wrap, you know?
Right, yeah. Nasty. You know?
So, I don't know, man. It's really, it's a tough situation. I feel for them. I mean, again, the highest level I've ever played was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and that had 0 balance adjustments. So, like, I can only imagine if I had been playing that game at high level, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, this infinite doesn't work now, or oh, this move is, you know, they made it so Cable can't do the air hyper viper beam anymore. Like, it just doesn't work for whatever reason. They made it so it's like, you know,
it's like all that muscle memory out the window.
Yeah, and all the muscle memory, or, you know, again. And when you got money on the line, and you're like, oh, I'm planning on going to Seasons Beatings and Frosty Faustings, and I've already booked tickets like a year in advance.
Right.
Because I knew that with the level I was at, I was at least gonna fuck with, you know, some of it. And now everything might turn on its head. Like Punk might either find himself the best player in this new patch or bottom 5. You know, it's like. But see, that's the thing. Like, he's so good in general in the game. All he's got to do is pick the best character. I don't know why. I feel like he's stubborn in some ways, Like, I don't know why he doesn't use Ryu or use, you know, like, I'm like, dude, but okay, like, it seems like Cammy's kind of a tough. Like, you don't see any other Cammy.
No, you don't, you know. And it's like, from what I'm hearing, they call it tier whoring, you know, like you want to be a tier whore. You only go for the top tiers. And okay, if you're in a tournament and we got $1 million on the line, at that point, fuck character loyalty. I want to win. So yeah, I'm going to gravitate toward the top tier, and I'm going to, you know, especially if I'm good with that top tier, I'm trying to win this money, you know. So I mean, but you got people who are the character loyalists, and you know, come on, man. I think if it's money on the line, big money, you want to play to win. That's why you see 8 Bobs in top 8. Remember, we was just talking about that. You know, everybody wants, you know, use the top tier to win, but. I mean, how do you feel about that? I mean, you respect the character loyalty, but would you play to win with the top tier?
I always play to win. I mean, you know, all my Marvel 2, there was nothing. That was all I played, was play to win.
Yeah,
you know, Magneto playing top tier, Magneto and Cable and Sentinel and all that. I mean, that's obvious. But the issue I have is that, like, to me, there's room for both. There's room for a player who says, look, I can pick this character and I can win. Like, you know how happy I was to see that Tokido is doing better now that he's playing JP. And he switched to JP and he was getting tore up. But now that the other player, I forget, was it Lushara or
Lashar?
Lashar. I think one of them is training Tokido. And so he trained him before his match with Punk, because he said he didn't know how to approach Cammy, he didn't know what to do with that matchup. He said the Shar trained him, or maybe it wasn't the Shar, but one of the good JP players, and he 3-0'd Punk. And it's like, okay, well, again, having that knowledge, having that ability told to you, trained, you know, what you should do, what you shouldn't. But then again, you have character specialists, like the guy who, he made it to like the top 8 at EVO with Jamie. And Jamie is not top tier. But he was just so good that he was able to pull out some shit, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is fucking sick. Like, I love when I see a character specialist do well. Where, like, you know, like, whether it's a Geo Joe or, you know, whatever his name was, the Japanese player in Marvel 3 that beat F-Champ. And, he had this Frank West and Beautiful Joe and Rocket Raccoon team. And caught everyone off guard. All of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, shit. KBR with the Hulk and the big body team. Like, when a character specialist can compete, like, it's one of the most amazing things, because you're like, nobody had seen back in the day the Ryan LV, Chun-Li, Morgan, and Phoenix, and it's like his Chun-Li was so ridiculous, like, movement wise, confirm wise, just like, and the team strat of like, okay, I've got this kind of runaway character who's got some of the best movement in the game. I've got an assist that gives me meter, and then I've got the powerhouse tank in the back that turns into Dark Phoenix. Like, in theory, it's an amazing team.
Right.
So, but you have to be able to be really good with Chun-Li to make that team work. Like, you have to be amazing with each of those characters. And so, it's just one of those things where, man, again, character specialists are sick, man. I've known some, in the Marvel 2 era, and you'll see these people that still to this day, like a Blackheart main, or play Anachorus or something, or Dalsum, and they'll have some sick ass shit. It's like, can they always necessarily get to a point where they could win a tournament? Not always. But I'm not either, and it's like, so that's the thing. I mean, a lot of times there's a downside. You have, VDO, and I'd be beating his ass at Wizards, and he took so many lumps, because I'm using top tier characters and he's using his team, his Rogue, Colossus, and Ken. But years later, he's gotten so good with that team because he's played nothing but them for all this time that he knows so many little, where he can get in on Magneto, or where he can, fuck up Sentinel with a certain, a certain angle hit or a certain whatever.
Yeah.
And that just comes from experience and knowledge and,
character loyalty.
But it's always, with a character specialist, the problem is most of the times it's an uphill battle.
Yeah.
And it's a question of, like, can you do something? A lot of the wins that they get, character specialists get, you're catching people off guard. They're like, oh, shit, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to block that. I've never seen that before. You run into a lot of that, And Juan, even as kind of famous as he's become for his team, there's still people that may not have ever played against him before, and he goes to, fight them, and he dominates them. A lot of times, maybe the first round or the first match, and then they're like, "Oh, I see what you're doing. You're just attacking, nonstop. So I'm gonna play Runaway Sentinel or Runaway Storm." And then it's a different story. Then it's a lot harder. But
right.
All right, man. Look, I just got to the chiropractor. I appreciate the time. We'll definitely talk more, maybe at the end of the week or on the weekend or next week. If anything, big in the gaming stuff. I'd be very curious once you start playing one of those games or both of those games to hear your thoughts. Like 2 hours in to Wuthering Waves or 2 hours into Zenless. What your thoughts are.
Yeah, because that one's almost downloaded, so I'm gonna try that one first.
Okay.
And I'll give you my feedback on it.
I'll give it
a couple hours.
One of the most amazing things with these two games, though, is that you can download them on your phone and you can play on your phone as well the same game. So that's one of these things where, like, let's say you're playing Wuthering Waves or Zenless, and you're like, man, I really want to knock out whatever, and you got a doctor's appointment, and you're in the waiting room, or you're at the DMV for an hour. It's like, I'll just hop on and work on more of my stuff, grind out a couple more missions, and, if you're at work and at downtime, that's one of the things I thought. I was like, damn, that's kind of sick. So for stuff like that, it's kind of cool, too. So.
All right, cool.
All right, man.
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right.